All right, y'all.
We're back.
We're back. We're Black and White Randomz podcast. I'm T, aka Scott. This is
Trish.
Alrighty. For those of you guys that are just joining us
Hello.
the first time, hey, how you doing? I don't know. What like the podcast says, it's pretty much a bunch of randoms.
Yeah, it's the podcast about random stuff.
Yeah.
We don't really have a theme. The theme is random.
I don't know. Just make sure you guys like, comment, share,
And
subscribe.
Or follow, I guess, if you're on listening. Most of those platforms use the word follow. So there you go. Do that.
Definitely.
A lot of y'all are not doing that. We got a lot of listeners who are not following us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so here we go.
All right.
Do you have black stinks? Basically, black instincts. Okay.
Okay.
So after living and being around black people most of your life, did you start picking up any of the quote unquote black instincts?
I don't know. I think I might have. Have I? I think I have. A couple of them, maybe.
Honestly, maybe some in the way that you carry certain situations.
Yeah, but not like, I don't think like the instincts. Like, I think that's something that I couldn't pick up. I think some of the, I don't know how to put it, not beliefs or like, I don't know, like.
I feel like you picked up some of like the cultural things.
Yeah.
Not necessarily appropriating, but like you understand like a lot of the culture because you've been around it. But as far as like the black stinks,
I don't think you can pick them up.
I'm gonna give you a perfect example of you not following protocol. So we were walking the Walmart parking lot last week, right? I see this guy come speeding around the corner.
Oh yeah.
And I literally go to like snatch her. Like I'm like, if you didn't see him like coming around the corner, like I snatched the fire out. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. Like I know you saw that.
No, I didn't. You did.
Like out of the corner of my eye. Like I'm like, okay. I don't even know that you would have right away pick up on like a person running. Cause like me, I see somebody running, like I'm on high alert, like I'm ready to go.
Once I see, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I don't think I'd catch it before
I don't think the reaction.
I don't think I'd see it before you would. I know what we do. I just don't know. I don't think I'd catch it before.
I don't think you'd have caught it either.
No.
Oh man.
Yeah, but you follow.
I don't know.
You follow. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I say to say that I saw like a guy on social media like earlier, basically talking about like how he's been married to his wife for like so long that he's starting to pick up black instincts. Like he saw a guy like jogging through the parking lot and like immediately he started to take off running and went, wait, he's just jogging.
So I think that might be one of the videos that I had grabbed for the reaction channel.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. Yeah. I don't know. I don't feel like the rest of them you picked up.
I'm not going to say I did because it's not true. I'm not going to claim that. No, it's not right.
It's not that.
No, and it's okay.
Like, you know,
it is okay.
I thought it was just funny.
It is funny.
But anywho, moving along because that was just like a warm me up.
Yeah.
All right. So, is social media taking away intimacy in relationships?
Yeah. Because intimacy it's multiple types of intimacy. It's not just the physical. It can be emotional, it can be mental. So yeah, I think some people are so invested in their phones that they're not spending the time and paying attention to their partner. So yeah, I think it is part of what is taking away quality of relationship.
You took that role with it. I think it's the exposing of the issues within the relationship on social media is where the intimacy is starting to go. Because it's like if you run into a problem with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whomever, husband, wife, and then you immediately feel the need to run to social media and explain the situation, and it's almost like a not even was I wrong, but can y'all believe this person did this type ordeal. And it's with ill intent. Even down to like y'all's breakups, like we don't need to know all your business. And TikTok is like the main platform for like people just dropping various amounts of information about their relationship.
Yeah.
And I get to a certain extent it's a sharing platform, right? But how far are you digging into your relationship? Like we should not have that much access to what's going on inside of your relationship.
No. We shouldn't. Absolutely not.
Like, that's wild to me. Like,
yeah. No one needs
honestly,
to know your private details of anything.
No, I'm here for the couples content. Some of it's funny, you know, the ones that do like the skits and they're wholesome or whatnot. Sorry, I thought I saw something, but anyway, I just don't get it. I'm just like, why is like social media the first thing you run to like let us know all of your problems? And I get a lot of you guys feel like you owe your followers something, or your subscribers or whomever, depending on the platform. It's just like,
but you really don't. You don't owe them. You don't owe them every single part of you.
No. I don't know. But like I said, people are just weird, and I think like we are oversharing for no point at all. Half these people don't know you. They're gonna chime in about a relationship, and half these people are damaged, and they're chiming in about what you should do, shouldn't do, and they don't have successful relationships. So like, I feel like at this point, it's just you craving some type of attention because
or validation.
Right, some type of validation, or you're hurt or whatever it is. I don't know. And some people are just doing it for clout, for real, if you want to be honest.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So there's that.
Yeah.
And but the other thing that made me think about it is like the DDG and Halle Bailey breakup or whatever. Because like I feel like some people were like, "Oh, I knew y'all were gonna break up anyway." And then you have the other side of social media. It's like, "Man, we were rooting for you guys. Like y'all went and had a baby and then did this." Like
the way that that statement. Because I read, I don't know if she released one or if it was a joint one. I saw the one that was posted on his social media, but that was very classy. It was very respectful of what the two of them want from their followers, but also like in general, like we're going to co-parent, we're going to be friends. But it was very much, it had a tone of this is really none of your business. You're not getting more than this, which I was here for.
It had a tone of they were young. They, in my opinion, this could be anybody else's opinion. My opinion, they did their relationship backwards. Like y'all, y'all went and jumped out there, and y'all were having a fling or start a relationship or whatever it was at the time. She got pregnant. Y'all tried to make it work out and whatever else. But like, did y'all really honestly know each other before y'all had this kid? And then too, kids change the dynamic of people's relationships.
They do.
So like, there's people out here now that don't really believe in marriage and this and that. That like, that's none of my business. I'm just kind of old school, and then also, having Christian values, Christian faith. I just think y'all did it backwards.
Yeah. Like,
we all make mistakes, whatever.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of dudes and females that are going down this route of, I'm gonna get this person a child, and then we're gonna try to make it work.
We're gonna make it work after the fact.
And that's probably not the best route to take.
Yeah. I agree with that.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Tipping and tipping etiquette. What's your opinion on this? Hold up, but I'm gonna give the scenario.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a scenario.
All right.
So let's just say you went to go get your nails done, right?
Okay.
The shop only takes cash tips. Okay. You can no longer tip via card. Okay. You realize, oh snap, I don't have cash. This more so is really about people being nosy, but we're gonna go ahead and move on.
Okay.
So you decide, oh snap, there's an ATM across the way, or my bank's across, whatever it is, right? And you then go to tell the nail tech or whomever it is, hey, let me run across the street so I can get you tip money, come back. Like, I'm always the type of person that's going to tip for your services, right? Why is it that in society, people around you are paying attention to your every move? Because why is it when she was caught outside by somebody else that was in the nail shop, they kind of like jumped in their business? Why didn't you tip them? Because they work hard for this and their services and whatever. And to be honest, you're not really required to tip.
You're not.
So even if I did not want to tip, why is that any of your business?
Right, it's not.
And well, put it this way, I'm pretty much a decent tipper. Like, I'm gonna toot my own horn on that one. But it's just like, why did you feel the need to track this lady down? Was that any of your business? And second of all, the lady was wrong as all get out, because in this specific scenario, the nail tech, I'm guessing, was also like Latino or Spanish speaking. So when the lady turned around to tell her this, she told her in Spanish that she was going to go grab cash. The lady was like, well, I didn't hear it. And I'm like,
that's none of your business. You shouldn't have heard it in the
what kind of version of entitlement is that? Like,
right.
You're not my mom. Like, are you crazy? Why are you approaching people?
Yeah, that's gotta stop.
Like, it's giving so much Karen energy.
It is. I was gonna say that.
But back to my main point.
Yeah.
Tipping and tipping etiquette. What do you feel like you should be tipping for versus what you should not be tipping for?
I think I said in one of our first couple of podcasts, like, now they're asking for tips at drive-thrus. No.
What drive-thru is this? I don't want to call this.
Like, if you go in and you pick up your order or something, like,
the carry-out orders.
Yeah, no.
Like, that's just weird to me.
Yeah, no.
Unless there's an additional service that's being provided as I'm grabbing my food from the carry-out. That's something completely different.
Right.
But I feel like carry-outs is absolutely not.
No. Restaurants though, yeah. If you can't afford, if you can't tip, you shouldn't be going. Like, you need to be able to tip something. Preferably cash. Even bars, your waiter, your bartenders, I think you should definitely be tipping your bartenders. If for no other reason they can hook you up with the extra stuff. But
the bartenders, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they are actually providing you with a direct service.
Exactly.
So I understand that. But also, let's look at, are these bartenders getting paid by the actual bar? Like, let's look at this and how much are they getting paid to service you, who some of y'all are complete assholes to some of these daggone service workers, like a bartender.
The more work you have to do, if you're with me or any person who was in the table that I'm at or the party I'm in, you deserve more. Really low maintenance. I feel like it depends on how much you do throughout the service. If you don't have to do anything extensive, it might not be as much as I would give someone who like has to run extra. Like, and if, like, for example, if my daughter leaves a mess when she was like real little, okay, that's more of a tip because I know you have to clean that up. I'm still one of those people who like tries to put my plates on top of my plates and, you know, put the silverware back on the plate. I'm not going to clean the whole table, but I will try to like straighten it up a little bit. But if I know she left crumbs on the floor, I'm going to leave a little bit more. She's not that young anymore, but.
Oh no, I just feel like with waitresses in particular, like, I try to, especially if they put in the effort, like, minimum for me is a 20% tip, like, minimum, unless you just a complete asshole. Now we're going to have to reconvene, because I don't know.
Talk about that. You're going to have to talk to yourself about that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to myself, because now we got a problem.
Right.
But I feel like the nail techs, definitely tip them, and like the barbers, the salon workers. And the reason why I say this, anybody that's doing your hair, y'all don't realize these people paying like rent booth to a lot of these places. Like, they aren't getting back the amount of money that you think they're getting back.
No.
Like, you know, so they have to pay some type of service fee just for renting that spot.
Yeah.
So you got to remember that. Nail tech, same thing for the most part. Unless they're a private nail tech or whatever, and they got their own whatever.
Right.
And even still, you still should be tipping, because in this case in point, they are buying supplies and all that other stuff on their own. And the fact that they even took the time to actually take care of your nails, and yes, you are paying them for a specific service, but they are sole business owners. They are employed by themselves. Especially if they're professional. Like, definitely help them out, please, if you can. Because I know everybody can't.
Right, not everybody can.
You know, so
if you're one of those people, though, don't make them do so much.
That too. All right, so can you remember your parents' most gangster moments? Like, can you recall, like, maybe like a top 2 or 3 of either or of your parents' most gangster moments?
You gotta let me think about my mom's for a minute. But dads, I definitely have like this memory. Actually, of dads, as I've shared before, I was picked on and bullied in elementary, middle school. But one time in middle school, I forgot what happened. He came up to that school, and one of my friends saw him in the hallway, and there was a girl. I guess he came up there on fire, because you know how he can get. I guess he came up there just as pissed off as he could be, and he said he heard some little girl. He walked past, and she went, "He's a gangster." She literally said it in the hallway of our school, because he just came up there. I don't know what happened. He only came up there a couple times. I think I might remember what it was, but he came up there to fire. And then I think that my mother's, I don't know if it's, I guess I would call it that. She broke her ankle one time, and her and my godmother drank a bunch of margaritas in the backyard, and it was the middle of the summer. My mother wanted to get in the pool. They soaked her cast in a 5-gallon bucket of water and cut it off themselves so she could climb up that ladder and get in the pool.
I cannot.
My father came up from work. He said, "What in the hell are you two doing?" He said he looked and he saw the margaritas. He was like, "Oh, let me help you." And he helped her take the rest of it off. She could walk. Her ankle never healed right because of that.
I bet it didn't. Like what?
Yeah, they cut him off with pliers. They cut it off.
I can't.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know, man. See, my mom that had so many.
She has.
But I'm gonna start just like you, my dad first. So there was a point in time where my dad was literally, I got two for my dad actually.
Okay.
He went to go pay this guy that he went to high school to get him some cases of oil for his car. Okay. This was probably back in the early 90s, I want to say. Okay. Maybe. The guy never returned with this case of oil from my dad's car. Like it was case multiple, bottles of oil in it, whatever. Uh-huh. My dad then sees him maybe a month or two later up in that area is shopping area. My dad rolls up on him with his car, on literally right beside him on the sidewalk, hops out of the car, pops the trunk, grabs a bat out and proceeds to beat this dude's ass. With a bat. Not a joke. In the shopping center. Wild times, y'all. Wild times. Crazy. Also, I think my cousin, I want to say she was 4.5, which means I was 8.5. We walking home from school, which children did in the area where I grew up in. We used to walk home in big groups or whatever, and my cousin got hit by a car. Yes, she lived. Yeah. The person that hit her with the car actually grew up with my dad. And yes, it ended up being a hit and run. He did initially get out of the car to check on my cousin to make sure she was okay. And then in fear, he got back in the car and drove off. Now, mind you, the area that my dad is from is not that big of an area. Most people in the area pretty much grew up with each other, know each other, whatever. So one of my dad's other friends is coming up the street, and all I know is I hear her go, "That was such and such," to my uncle and my grandmother. My uncle knows whose it is, but my uncle knew who it was at the time. So I guess later on they took my cousin to the hospital, whatever, yada, yada, yada. A couple weeks later, I have a basketball game in said area. My dad comes to the game because he knows that the guy that hit my cousin's first cousin, who he grew up in the house with like a brother, is refereeing my game. Ooh. My father literally stopped the whole game in the middle of the gym and told him that he better find his You know what? In front of the gym full of kids, do not care. Because you hit his niece while he hit his niece. And just know he after his. When he catch him, I said.
See, by the time I met him, all that was going out his system.
Yeah. My father was a little spark. He found Jesus, But yeah, he was a little spark,
I mean, rightfully so. You better find him. Did he find him? Mm-hmm. He found him? Or did he successfully hide?
He did not have to find him because when the cops caught up with his butt, it was all script. Okay. So anyway, because he was driving on this, first of all, he never had a license. Not even that it was suspended. He was driving his cousin's car with no license.
Oh.
Yeah. So my father did not necessarily have to deal with him. Anyway, the law got him.
He should be good.
Yeah. Anyway, all my uncles was looking for him at one point in time, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
Don't know how that would have panned out for anybody, but glad that, it did not go out the way that my dad thought it was, whatever that was. But for my mom, most of my mom's most gangster moments came in with my brother. Lord have mercy. I can remember one time. This is the only one I could tell because that one going to have my mother. They be investigate my mother later on in life. Like, was that safe? Nah, they could never. But anyway, my brother came home and we used to have like one of those wood stove fireplaces in our living room in the area we lived in at the time. And my mother kept telling my brother, this is back when dudes started first like really sagging their pants or whatever. Back in like the mid 90s, late 90s, whatever. I'm a millennial, so I was real young. But anyway, so he proceeds to walk by my mom. She kept telling him, pull his pants up, pull his pants up. Mind you, you sagging with a belt. But that's neither here nor there. So he like, all right, man, like, I'll pull him up, whatever. He made it about halfway up them steps. I ain't never seen my mother run this fast. She was sitting across the living room. Some kind of way she made it to our stairs and snatched him halfway back down the stairs by his belt. Like legit, when I tell you snatched, like he was in the wood stove type snatch. Like he hopped, boom. I'm like, I thought my soul was out my body. His soul was for sure out of his body because he thought he was gonna die. It was a stone stove, bro. He could have died. Second story that deals with my brother. So back when my brother was about, I want to say he was like 13 or 14, which means I probably was like 4 or 5, depending on whether he was 13, actually 12 or 13, whatever. So he's standing in the kitchen. He comes in from playing basketball. He does not wash his hands. My mother is prepping her fried chicken. My brother proceeds to put his dirty hands on my mother's fried chicken.
That's a sin.
Because some of them were already done. Okay, let's just put it that way. Oh no. My mother, why did he do that? Because mother was like cutting up something, vegetables or whatever. As soon as he did that, she saw them dirty hands on her chicken. She sliced my brother across all 4 of his fingers. Blood on the kitchen floor immediately in front of my face. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not messing with this lady. Whatever she told me to do, for the most part,
you did.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Whatever you, yep. Trust me, because she's only gotten with me like 4 good times out of my whole entire like childhood. The one I ain't gonna tell you because right now would be considered child abuse. But let's just say it involved the video game system, and we gonna let that go.
Oh, I just thought. Wait a minute! I just thought of another one for mom. Wait a minute. Okay, so my childhood best friend lived around the corner, and when we would get home from school, she would be home for a couple hours with her brothers or by herself because her dad was still working. He was working. I don't know if he was doing security at the time or something like that. And she called me and she's screaming. She's like, Trish, there's someone in the house. And I'm like, what? She's like, I swear there's someone in my house. And my mother heard her screaming at me through the phone because we still had house phones. She said, go get in the car. Okay. And we got in the car. She flew around that corner. She got out of the car, got her club. She carried a club in the car and charged into that house. She broke down every door, every closet. She went into the attic, the basement, her father's room. She didn't care. She said, if there's someone in this house, I'm going to get them out. Oh, trust me, I'm getting them out this house. There wasn't nobody there. But she made us stand outside. We could hear her ripping and running through the house. And then as she's leaving, she goes, tell your father what happened. And if he wants to talk to me about the mess I made, I'll talk to him when he gets home. And we were like, oh. And then she said, you're going to stay here with her until her father gets home from work. It's like, okay.
She said what she said.
She did, and I did what she said.
All right, so here we go. Does submissive equal subservient?
No. No.
Okay.
Submissive and weak, I think, equals subservient. You can be submissive but not be weak.
Right.
Subservient implies, to me, a type of weakness.
All right, so I think there's a disconnect in the definition of submissive in this day and age when it pertains to a male and female relationship, when women are thinking about being feminine. Because one of the things is they tie being submissive to being subservient, and don't understand that those are two different things.
Yeah, they are.
A lot of times you'll hear women go, well, I'm not bowing down to any man and that. And I'm like, you're talking about being subservient, and that's pretty much you not having will at all. Damn it. Like, you just going on about life, whatever he say go.
Yep.
And it's not even necessarily being submissive. You don't even have to be combative. That's the thing. You can still have a difference of opinion without being combative. And I think that's where these relationships are starting to fail, but also men not understanding completely what their role is to an extent, and how they're playing a role in this. Eventually they grow up, some of them, and grow into it and realize what it is, what it isn't. And females now have this block, and I blame most of it on common day feminism. And these feminists are like, we even talked about this before, they are ridiculous with some of the things that they're preaching, because equal pay does not mean I get to do any and everything that man can do or should be doing. And the quicker we realize that, the better our society will be. When we started getting away from the normalities of how the male and female relationship dynamic was, we have now created all of these broken homes. We have now created the era of men no longer hunt, like literally being on the hunt. When I say this, I mean specifically approaching women, asking women out. They're laying back and waiting for the woman to approach. And for some people that works out, but for most men, like, if you approach them in that manner, sometimes, majority of the time, it's probably not gonna work out in your favor.
Yeah.
Because they are made to hunt, to go after what it is that they want. So when they're placed outside of their nature, you're already messing with how they're supposed to be when it comes down to like pursuit and pursuing a woman. I'm not telling you to go out there and chase every damn woman. Like, I'm not telling men to do that.
No.
But there's certain specific dynamics of relationships for certain reasons. And we done got so above ourselves because everybody is better than thou, and we have all these choices and this and that and the third. And I get it, we do. As a society, you do have a choice whether or not you're going to do this or not. But we also live in a scared era of men. These men are a lot of them, not all, they're starting to retract because they are scared of multiple things. They are scared of marriage, but you're not scared to have babies. Make that make sense.
Right.
They're scared of finding the wrong woman, which you can't find the wrong woman if you're not pursuing. So
any woman, right?
Any woman for that matter, or you getting online and you hoping that you find your next whatever lay or whatever it is, and then on to the next one. We are teaching ourselves how to like date and then dismiss as soon as we see a sign of something that we don't like. And that's on both sides, not just men, it's women as well.
Yeah, it is.
Like, when you have a cycle of dating people, once you get tired of them, I'm gonna get rid of them.
Right.
Why? Because that person is expendable in my life. And I'm gonna just keep creating this cycle of saying that people are expendable in my life. I'm a date. I don't like you. Boom. I don't like what you said to me. Boom. I don't like that attitude. Boom, getting rid of you. Especially most people hit a brick wall in relationships in about 3 months in. So when they hit that brick wall, you could tell the type of person you got if they run.
Mm-hmm.
If they gone, you didn't need that person anyway, because they already aren't developed in the head enough to realize that if you can get past that 3-month hump or whatever it is, y'all gonna be solid for a while. Like, you can't deal with that. You're a runner. You're a track star. You're a runner. You're a track star. Like, literally.
Right.
But I don't know. What do I know?
Right.
You know, I'm just calling what I see.
Exactly.
Calling a spade a spade. But yeah, y'all really need to learn the difference between being submissive and subservient.
Yeah, because there's a huge difference.
Just saying.
Yeah.
All right. So this is also sort of kind of going to tie into the topic we were just talking about, but kind of not. What is your opinion on men who simply just collect women?
Ooh. Yeah, that's messy. That's messy.
Out of the voice of so-called men.
Oh.
Because I don't even think you're a man if you think like that.
Yeah, no.
I think you're a boy playing in a man's body.
Yeah, I don't have any respect for someone who views women like that.
It's just giving very Nick Cannon-y vibes. The collector of women. I'm going to say and do what I want so I can get what I want. And I also don't want to let you too far off the leash because I don't want nobody else to have you.
Yeah, that.
But I'm also going to meet you and not be truthful about most things. I'm going to just tell you what you want to hear.
That's trash. That is so trash.
That collector of women is wild to me.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's men that think like this that have the most daughters or have daughters. And then she becomes a woman.
Karma comes back around for that.
That's your little homie. That's your little ride or die. But then you have red pill dudes. I'm not gonna say which one. Who believes if I provide for you monetarily and I make your life easy, so what? You can end up in whatever type of relationship you end up in. And my thing is this: when she end up with a man just like you, and she end up coming to cry to you about it, and then you're cold with her because you were that same type of person, because you're going to end up being cold because that's the type of person you already are. Mm-hmm. Like, you think that throwing money at a child is it'll make their life a little bit easier physically, like being able to afford things and being able to have experiences that most kids don't get to have. But it's like you have now made a person that's going to be emotionally like in turmoil. Mm-hmm. Like there's more to a child than just throwing money at a situation.
Yeah.
Like, y'all want these women to just raise these kids and then them being damaged from having daddy hurt, basically.
Yeah.
Like, you wasn't a father in a home. Like, it's one specific, I'm not even going to mention his name. And no, I'm not talking about Andrew Tate, even though he kind of sort of falls down his path sometimes. But it's definitely not him. It's another one that he's been on Andrew Tate's show before. Mm-hmm. Multiple times. And this dude is just like, he shows you his hurt in the way that he talks about women. Mm. It is like ridiculous. I'm like, these young men, these young boys that listen to their content are really gonna end up creating more and more hurt people. Okay. They're hurt, so they need somebody that hits their hurtness. They live in their hurt with them. Which is like Andrew Tate and some of these other red pill dudes. Andrew Tate's starting to calm down a little bit more, but like their audience is literally a bunch of hurt men.
Yeah.
Or a bunch of hurt boys pretending to be men. Like, it's just, y'all gotta figure out a way to better communicate with women other than playing games with them to physically get what you want, to physically solve whatever it is that you want to solve for that moment in time because you wanted that woman in whatever way you wanted her. Because my thing is this: yes, men can compartmentalize, but like y'all pretending like you wasn't hurt by a situation, or some of y'all got mom guilt and this and that, or mom hurt, whatever. And y'all gotta stop pretending. Like, this is just crazy. Get yourselves healed. Stop hurting these damn women.
Right.
And the fact that y'all have no empathy for your mom or your sister based on the way that y'all are going out here acting like animals.
Right.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's not sexy that you can't control your sexual urges. It's just not. There is nothing
for
cute
a lot
about
of women,
that.
That's the opposite of attractive.
It's just not. Y'all are finding hurt women so that y'all can be hurt with the hurt women, is what it is. Because any woman that's willingly allowing you to do this to her, going into a situation knowing this, is also hurt.
Yep.
Y'all prey on these women that you guys know are going to go along with this BS. I literally just watched the OnlyFans girl, like, legit just crying the other day and trying to come to Jesus because she knew what she was doing was wrong. She wanted the money. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But then realizing what came behind it. Like, not realizing that money is not everything.
No.
That money is going to make you comfortable to a certain extent.
It certainly will. But that's not all that there is to life.
It's not. Y'all just keep finding these damaged girls. But then the stuff that they out here doing, and yes, they might not be online doing it, but then y'all call these daggone girls on y'all podcast just to, like, rip them apart and destroy them for how they live in their lives. But you're not that much better than them.
No.
The only thing is you just not putting the stuff online. Y'all running around with whoever y'all want to run around with.
Right.
And that's just is what it is.
Yeah, that's trash behavior.
It is. It's very trash. It's not giving the mirror. But anyway.
No, not even.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you ever wondered how your dad bagged your mom? Since we talked about relationships, I
think I know most of the story. Of course, there's things I don't know, but I think
I'm glad you don't, because I'm glad there's things I don't know.
Yeah, there's things I don't know. I mean, I think essentially it came down to he was a good guy, and then that's most of the reason I think why they ended up a thing. She was a single mom when they met. My sister's 8 years older than me. I think she was 6 when they met. So, she was a bartender. She was working at a bar. And I don't know if they must have been out before. And he had maybe picked her up because she was living with her mom at the time. So that's important for in a second. So basically one night she was drugged. Mm-hmm. She don't know what they gave her. Somebody gave her something. And he took her home, walked her in the house, carried her up the stairs, put her in her bed, and left. And he was the only one who actually took her home. Like, there were other people there. I don't think she ever found out who did it, or if she did and he did. I don't know how that got handled. I would imagine if he found out who it was not handled well for them. But yeah, he just walked her in, dropped her off, and left, and then saw her a couple nights later at the bar, and it kind of started from there, I believe. But like, I never thought about it literally before now. How did he know where she lived? They must have gone out a couple times, or must have dropped her off or something for him to know where her mother's house was.
Like, I don't know, back then, like, you never know what circles they ran in, or if he got her address from somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever.
He knew exactly where he dropped her, took her in the house, carried her in the house, spoke to my grandmother, and left. Now, my grandmother, for the longest time, apparently didn't like him because she suspected he may have been the one. Mm-hmm. But my mother was adamant. He would not have taken me home if he was the one who slipped something in my drink. He wouldn't have taken me home. So, other than that, I don't know the rest of it. I know that part, and I think it just boiled down to he was just a good guy who was also willing to step in with my sister too.
Oh, that's crazy. I don't know. I feel like my parents' story was way more simpler than that to a certain extent. Like, I don't know. Like, my mom was chilling my godmother out, walking around.
Our godmother's played a lot of parts in the creation of the two of us.
All I know is mom had nice legs and whatever else. She was
okay.
Whatever. My dad decided she was nice enough. asked out to the movies, ain't call her for a couple of days, as men tend to do, whatever. And then, asked out. They went out to movies a couple of days later. I guess they must have hit it off. He was nice enough, I guess.
There you go.
And then the rest of that is history, because here I am.
Exactly.
But nothing too crazy.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's just funny because it's like, bro, like I wonder what what the conversation directly was like. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how the heck did that even sound?
Yeah, because my thing is, you spent enough time with my parents, you would not have put the two of them together. Yeah. Especially when around the time that they met. You would never.
But it's funny because my mom was a single mom at that age as well. Yeah. I think my brother probably was like 2, maybe 3 when they met.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. You wouldn't have. Even me and my sisters were like, you two. Like, even now we're still like, what? Okay, but like even now we're all still like, I wouldn't have thought that. Okay, I guess it worked. Here we are, but never would have put the two of them together like that.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have put your parents together either.
Exactly
on that one.
Right.
I was like, well, it works. It works.
Right. I mean, I'm here.
I don't know. My family's pretty much got together like with cool, like
right.
So much so that I got cousins on my dad's side that come over and will call, people on my mom's side, family, auntie, whoever, and uncle, whoever, and vice versa. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We here though.
Right, we're here now.
We 2 live germs out here. 2 zygotes.
2 zygotes. I was 2 zygotes. Listen, my entire pregnancy, that's all she referred to the goddaughter as. Zygote. She would come in the house screaming, "Zygote, where you at?"
Anyway, if y'all know what a zygote is,
let us know.
All right, y'all. Like, comment, share,
subscribe,
hit that notification bell.
And if you want to watch our podcast or our reaction videos, find us on YouTube at Black and White Reacts. Is REACZ.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Yep. Bye.
Peace.